Hi, so this is a tutorial video for eece474 about the PCB design. And the CAD tool that we use in the project is called Altium, which is a pretty good program that I did some research and it's supposed to be much better than a lot of other softwares. And since I don't have access to the software in my laptop, so I'll be using some screenshots that I've taken from YouTube for this tutorial. So first of all, you want to just open up the software, and then on the left side here, you want to right click and you want to add new project. And then you want to add a PCB project. And then after that, you will want to add to the project a schematic file. So basically, when you want to create a PCB, you will need to create a schematic file of your circuits first, and then in this program, in this software, it will transfers all the schematic designs that you have to the PCB itself. So you want to click on the schematic, and here, since the circuits that we had for the project for the robot it's quite large, so it would take a long time to go through that circuits on this tutorial. So I just decided to go through the simple circuits here, so it would save a lot of time. So in this software, you want to add some parts, some components in your circuits. You want to go to place and click parts. And inside the libraries, there are a lot of components. Obviously, you can use mass to search the components inside of the default libraries. But however, some components that you need might not be in the library, so you probably have to go find them online. So you can use the find option here, the find function here. You can click the find here, and then you can type name. You can select name here, and then contains any of the values that your components have, like the model numbers here. And then you can click search, and you probably have to hope that they have the components. Like for our case, for the H bridge, we had to look up on Google and then find the libraries on one of the forums in order to have that components on into the schematic file, which took a while. So after you have all the components you need, you can just place them anywhere you want, and then you can start wire them up. You can wire them up using this button here, the function wire, and you just drag them to wherever you want to place them. And then for the VCC and the ground, it's right up here as well, and then you can connect them together. And once you're done connecting them, then you can also, depends on what you need, you can also add some text to it. But if you don't, then you're done. So after you're done your schematic file, you will want to create a PCB file. So you go back to the file here, your project select here. You right click it and you want to add new to project, and it's this time instead it's the PCB. And once you click it, you will have your PCB file here. So, and you want to import your circuit from the schematic file that you just created to the PCB file. So you go to design and you click import changes from PCB project 1. You click that, and you will see these are all the components that you have, and all the wires that you have, and that's the ground that you have from the schematic file you created. And you want to execute changes. You click the execute change it, and it will go to here, and you will notice that you will have all of your components here in the PCB model. See, these are, for example, these are headers. This is one of the components that you have, and these are the resistor capacitors. And you can, with these lines here are the wires according to your schematic file. So these are just for you to wire them up easier later on in the PCB file. And after that, the black shape here is your board shape. And for this case, see, we only have a few components here. We don't need board shape this big, so you want to probably need to redefine the board shape. And depending on what you have, like for example for our case, our project, we have a lot of stuff and we have a limited space, so we had a board shape of I think it was 11 centimeters times 6 centimeters, and we had to squeeze in a lot of components in there, so it was quite a, yeah, it took a while to put everything in there and organize them. Yeah, but then it depends on your needs, how big or some restrictions of space. You can redefine the board shape. So you go to design and board shape here, and then redefine board shape. You click that, it will go to this interface here, and then you can click one of the corner you want, and then you drag them, and then since you can create your board shape into different shapes you want, for example like an octagon or like a rectangle, um, there's a function that you can, for example, you click, you hold shift and then you click space. It can changes the angle of this thing that you can have. So depending on what shape you want, you can play it around with that. And in this case, we want a rectangle. So we just have a 90-degree angle. You drag it. You drag it to one of the corner you want, and then you click it, and you drag down to the last corner, and you right click it, and then you will end up with your board shape like this, with the other areas in gray. So this is a board shape that we have, and then you can start locating your components, depending on where you want to put it, and depending on your restrictions and your conditions. Everyone will have, I assume everyone have their own thoughts and their own restrictions. And then you would want to wire them up with route or wire or lines. It doesn't really matter. And you want to click them, and you can just drag them along the red part. These are all the pins. So these are the holes that will be created for your component. And you just wire them up according to your schematic files. And once that's done, then it's done. And just for some of the components that we have in our circuits, we couldn't find the floor plan, like the layout in this software. So we had to create our own, and which is not that hard because a PCB, it's just a layout. And if you have a component and you know the size of a component and the pin distance, it's really easy to create your own. You just have to add the pad onto the PCB, and then you just want to make sure that the distance is exactly what it is on your component, so that when you have your PCB, you can actually put it on. So when you can't find a component in the library, don't panic, because you can always make it yourself with the pad, and you can always draw these lines to make sure that you don't mess up the size, so that when you get your PCB, you don't crowd everything. You want to make sure you have enough space between all the components. So after you're done with your PCB file, you want to send them to a manufacturer to make your PCB. And for our case, it was a company called Daiko, and they accept Gerber files and drill files to make our PCB. And you can create those files in this program. You go to File, and you go to Fabrication Outputs, and you click Gerber files. And then the files will go to your project outputs in the directory where you put. So you might want to look up where your directories, and inside the project outputs, you'll find these files that you need. So this is what the Gerber files look like. It's according to your wires and your components. And for the drill files, it's same. You go to File, and you click Fabrication Output, and you go to NC drill files. Once you click it, these are the drill files that you will see. The drill file is basically the holes that you want to drill on your PCB. So in this case, there's only 4 holes that we want to drill. And you can double check the drill files and the gripper files by putting them together to see if it's what you want. And you want to go back to your gripper file, you click the gripper file cam, and you want to go to File, Import, Drill, and then go to your directory, and then these are the drill files that you have, and you want to import them. You click OK, and then you will see that the drill files matches correctly with your gripper files. So in this case it works. So you're pretty much done. And just make sure that you want to have the right files to send it to the manufacturers, because for us at the beginning we sent the wrong files because we thought the CAM files were the only thing we need, but it was the files that were generated. There are a lot of files that were generated. So I would suggest that you just send everything you have in that output folder, and then I think that the manufacturer, they would know what they need. So just in case that if you're running out of time and then you don't want to waste your time on talking to the manufacturers and sending emails of like them saying that you missed the file, something like that. So that's about it. Hope this tutorial helps, and that's it. Thanks.